One day can change everything. That's what happens when an undercover CEO walks into his own store, only to stop in his tracks after hearing what the cashier says. What began as a secret mission quickly unfolds into a wave of emotions, filled with surprises and drama, a journey that touches the heart of anyone who hears it. John Miller was no ordinary CEO. At 46 years old, he was the proud founder of Miller's Market, a popular chain of convenience stores. 10 years earlier, it had been nothing more than a small shop in a quiet suburban neighborhood of Chicago. Starting with nothing, John managed the store himself, from stocking shelves to greeting every customer with care. Thanks to his relentless hard work and visionary strategy, Miller's Market grew rapidly, transforming into a well-regarded brand with dozens of locations across the United States. Yet, success did not bring John the fulfillment he had envisioned. As the business expanded, he felt increasingly disconnected from the very roots of his accomplishments, the personal connections with employees and customers. Financial reports and performance metrics were no longer enough to truly understand what was happening on the ground. A nagging question kept him awake at night: do my employees feel appreciated? Are they upholding the same vision of exceptional customer service that I always dreamed of? These questions consumed him, leading John to make a bold and unexpected decision. Like a character from a dramatic movie, he disguised himself as a part-time worker. Dressed in worn-out jeans, a faded hoodie, and a frayed baseball cap, he ensured he was unrecognizable. He even let his beard grow out to complete the look. His plan was simple but risky: to show up unannounced at one of his stores and observe the reality on the ground. John chose the third store he had ever opened, a busy location in the heart of Detroit, buzzing with a constant flow of people. This store was one of his most successful, and he was curious to uncover what made it stand out. As he walked through the gleaming glass doors early one morning, the lively atmosphere inside immediately caught his attention. Customers browsed the shelves, employees restocked items, and an electric hum of energy filled the space. Introducing himself as Mike, a temporary worker, John seamlessly blended in and got to work. He began by arranging boxes near the checkout counter, a perfect spot to observe and listen. What he didn't know was that right there, in the midst of the store's everyday bustle, he was about to witness a seemingly small act that carried immense weight. It would be a moment that revealed truths he had never imagined, ultimately changing his life forever. John's story is not just about a CEO. It's about what happens when kindness and quiet sacrifice are brought to light, creating a ripple effect that transforms lives. In that very store, John was about to uncover untold secrets, and this journey would not only redefine his vision but also the values of the entire enterprise he had built. It was one of the most successful locations in the entire chain, and John was determined to see firsthand what made it thrive. Disguised in a pair of worn-out jeans, a faded hoodie, and a weathered baseball cap, he was nearly unrecognizable. His hair was deliberately tousled and a scruffy beard completed the look. He wanted to blend in, to become invisible among the staff and customers, avoiding even the faintest hint of recognition. Arriving early in the morning, John stepped through the doors of the store into a scene full of life and energy. Customers moved leisurely between shelves, carefully selecting their items. Employees bustled about, restocking inventory with precision. The air was filled with the hum of quiet chatter and the occasional ding of the cash register. The lively atmosphere was almost palpable, a stark reminder of how much he had been missing as he operated from the confines of his corporate office. Scanning the room to take in the environment, John mentally noted every detail. He was greeted warmly by Joe, the store's manager, a middle-aged man with kind eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor. Introducing himself under the alias Mike, John explained that he was a temporary worker sent by headquarters to assist with stocking and organizing. Joe accepted the story without hesitation, assigning John to stack shelves near the front of the store. John's mission was straightforward: to observe, to interact, and most importantly, to listen. It didn't take long for his attention to be drawn to the cashier, a young man who appeared to be in his early 20s. The cashier, Ryan, was a bright spot in the bustling store. Cheerful and approachable, he greeted every customer with a wide smile and an effortless warmth. His demeanor was magnetic, and it quickly became evident that he had formed genuine connections with many of the regular customers, addressing them by name and inquiring about their families or their day. Intrigued, John couldn't help but watch Ryan more closely, wondering how a young employee could embody such an extraordinary spirit of service. Unbeknownst to John, what he was about to uncover would not only redefine how he viewed his employees but also challenge the way he thought about the business he had built. Ryan's warmth and charisma were undeniable. He greeted regular customers by name, asked about their families, and genuinely seemed to brighten their day. John was impressed, even captivated, by the young man's enthusiasm and natural ability to connect with people. It was clear Ryan wasn't just doing his job, he was making a difference, even in the smallest of ways. As John arranged boxes near the counter, he overheard a conversation that stopped him in his tracks. A frail, elderly man in a threadbare jacket approached the register, carefully placing a small loaf of bread and a carton of milk on the counter. Ryan greeted him warmly. "Mr. Thompson, don't worry about the total today, it's on me." The old man hesitated, his voice tinged with embarrassment. "Ryan, I can't keep letting you do this. You'll get in trouble." With a gentle smile and a quiet whisper, Ryan reassured him. "It's fine. I've got this." The elderly man murmured his thanks and shuffled out the door, clutching the items. John stood frozen, struggling to process what he had just witnessed. Why would a cashier, likely earning a modest wage, pay out of his own pocket for a customer? Compelled by curiosity, John decided to watch Ryan more closely throughout the day. What he discovered left him awestruck. Ryan discreetly helped multiple customers in need, covering small bills, giving unspoken discounts, or even slipping extra items into their bags without charging them. It was clear that Ryan wasn't seeking recognition or approval. His kindness was genuine, selfless, and deeply moving. By the end of the shift, John could no longer contain his curiosity. He had to know more about the young man whose quiet acts of generosity had left such a profound impression. Steeling himself, he decided to approach Ryan in the break room. What John was about to learn would further cement the extraordinary impact of one humble cashier. In the break room, John approached Ryan, still maintaining his guise as Mike, the temporary worker. "Hey Ryan," John began, his voice calm but tinged with curiosity. "I noticed you helping a lot of people today. Why do you do it?" Ryan, taken aback by the question, paused for a moment. Then, with a sincerity that was impossible to ignore, he answered, "Mike, some of the people who come here are really struggling. Mr. Thompson, the man you saw earlier, lost his wife recently and is barely scraping by. There's also a single dad who comes in sometimes with his kids. They often can't afford everything they need." Ryan shrugged modestly. "I just try to help where I can. It's not much, but it makes a difference." John felt a lump forming in his throat. Here was a young man, earning a modest wage, going above and beyond to support others in ways no one had asked him to. The selflessness and empathy Ryan displayed were extraordinary. John wanted to dig deeper, to understand more, but he decided to hold back, for now. The next day, John returned to the store early, his sense of curiosity and admiration for Ryan growing stronger. As he continued his undercover work, he took the opportunity to chat with other employees, hoping to learn more about the young cashier who had so deeply impressed him. One conversation in particular, with an older stockroom worker named Bill, left John stunned. "You know, Ryan's had a tough life," Bill began, shaking his head as he spoke. "His dad passed away when he was a teenager, and he's been working odd jobs ever since to support his younger brother. That kid hardly ever takes a day off, even when he's sick. He's always giving to others, but I don't think anyone's really looking out for him." John's heart sank as he listened. The weight Ryan carried on his shoulders was far heavier than he had imagined. Yet, despite his own struggles, Ryan remained a beacon of kindness and generosity. It was a humbling revelation for John, and one that would shape the decisions he was about to make. Bill's words lingered in John's mind, painting a picture of Ryan's life that was both inspiring and heartbreaking. Here was a young man, radiating energy and compassion, yet quietly shouldering a burden that would overwhelm many. John couldn't shake the thought. Ryan, who tirelessly gave so much to others, seemed to have no one looking out for him. By the third day, John knew it was time to step out of the shadows. After the store closed that evening, he gathered the entire team in the break room. The employees, curious but unsuspecting, exchanged glances as John stepped forward. Taking a deep breath, he removed his cap and hoodie, revealing his true identity. "Hi everyone," he began, his voice steady but laced with emotion. "I'm John Miller, the CEO of Miller's Market." The room fell into a stunned silence. Employees stared in disbelief, and Ryan in particular, looked completely taken aback. John continued, "For the past few days I've been working here undercover. I wanted to see for myself what's happening in my stores, and I have to say, this experience has opened my eyes in ways I never expected." Turning his attention to Ryan, John's tone softened. "Ryan, your kindness and generosity have truly inspired me. You go above and beyond for our customers, even when you don't have to. You care deeply, and that doesn't just make this store better, it makes this community better. I want you to know that your efforts haven't gone unnoticed." The team erupted into applause as John announced the next steps. "Ryan, I'm promoting you to a management position, effective immediately with a significant raise. Additionally, I'm setting up a fund to support employees in need across all our stores, inspired by what you've shown me here." Ryan, overwhelmed with emotion, tried to protest, but John stopped him with a smile. "You didn't do this for recognition, and that's exactly why you deserve it." From that day forward, the store became a model for the entire company. John's undercover mission not only deepened his understanding of his business but also revealed the extraordinary impact of one employee's quiet acts of kindness. It was a turning point, not just for Ryan but for everyone who worked at Miller's Market. In addition to the promotion, John announced something that left everyone speechless. He committed to paying for Ryan's younger brother's education, ensuring that Ryan no longer had to carry that burden alone. Furthermore, inspired by Ryan's quiet acts of generosity, John established a company-wide fund to support employees in need across all Miller's Market locations. Ryan, overwhelmed with gratitude, struggled to find the words. "Thank you," he finally managed, his voice trembling. "But I didn't help people expecting anything in return." John smiled warmly. "That's exactly why you deserve it," he replied. From that moment, the store became more than just a business. It became a beacon of hope and compassion. Employees felt motivated and valued, and customers experienced a renewed sense of connection with the staff. John, transformed by his undercover journey, made it a priority to visit his stores regularly, reconnecting with the people who made his business thrive. In the end, one undercover visit didn't just change John's perspective, it profoundly impacted the lives of everyone he encountered. It was a story of selflessness, leadership, and the extraordinary power of kindness to transform not just businesses, but entire communities. That's the conclusion of this inspiring story, a tale of kindness, humility, and the transformative power of compassion in leadership. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you're tuning in from. It's always wonderful to see the global reach of these heartfelt narratives. And if you'd like to see more incredible stories, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. And hey, if you feel like showing some extra love, tap the 3 dots near the share button and send a super thanks. The story of John Miller and Ryan delivers a profound lesson about kindness, understanding, and the value of small actions. Reading this story, I felt a strong connection to my own personal experiences. It reminded me of a time in my life when I witnessed a former colleague quietly helping a homeless person. He didn't just give them some money but also sat down, talked, and listened to their story. I once asked him why he spent his time and money on a stranger, and his reply has stayed with me ever since. Sometimes just having someone listen can change an entire day, maybe even a life. Ryan's story reminds us that no matter how challenging life may be, each of us has the ability to make a difference by giving. Despite bearing the weight of family responsibilities and personal struggles, Ryan chose to spread kindness and help those around him. This resonates deeply with a life lesson I hold dear. Happiness doesn't come from having more, but from what we do with what we already have. I also learned from John's story that success can sometimes cause us to unintentionally forget what truly matters. His transformation from a leader focused solely on numbers to someone who understands the value of kindness is something we should all reflect upon. Success is not measured only by profit margins but by the positive impact we create in the lives of others. This story teaches me that in life's journey, understanding and kindness are like guiding beacons. While we may not be able to change the entire world, small, sincere actions can change someone's entire world. And sometimes, that alone is enough to make this life more meaningful. Sometimes, life's challenges come as tests to help you grow and overcome them, just like Ryan in this story. As long as you hold on to your values and kindness, every difficulty will eventually fade away. I hope you enjoyed this story, and if you have any thoughts or feelings to share, please leave a comment below this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Soul Deep Stories channel to hear more life lessons through inspiring stories every day. I love you.